Okay, thank you for everybody being so patient. We had a few tech glitches that we had to take care of, but welcome to a very special edition of So Get This. And we have four amazing co-stars, and we will also have another one sneaking in. So we have Dr. Lynn, who everybody knows is the author of Fangasm. We have Jennifer Copping. We have Cora Idle, and then we have Carrie and Fleming. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, so the reason why we're doing this special edition is because, as you may have...
Thank you for everybody being so patient.
Okay,
we had
another
we had to take care of. But
yeah.
You gotta mute that side.
I did. Okay, so retake. I love live. The reason why we're having the special edition is because, as you all have heard, we are Cora and her amazing group of awesomeness are pulling together a supernatural ladies convention where it's going to be an all-female cast, all-female crew, all-female everything. And to talk about how amazing this event is and how we can all make this happen, we have these great guests here to talk about this. So Cora, do you want to let me put you on the spot again, and you talk about the project for a bit?
Always putting me on the spot. Hang on a second. I was actually just in the process of trying to update the Facebook link so anybody RSVP'd on Facebook can catch the new one. I don't want them to be all lost. Get out of there. No, don't do the thing. Stop. There we go. All right. So, for those of you who are new, welcome. We are attempting to give the spotlight to our lady friends who have been on the show these past 10 plus years. Very basically what it comes down to is that the women don't get enough time at conventions. They don't get the kind of notoriety they deserve. So we are taking it into our own hands and bringing all of you lovely ladies to them. The goal is May 2016. We're planning ahead for next year because it's looking more and more like this year is going to be a little bit smaller. Time constraints have made it hard to get everything secured immediately, but we are going to do some things this year. We're possibly also going to do some live stuff connected via the internet as well. I'll go into it a little bit more when I've gathered my brain again. Sorry, everyone.
No, that's fine. So how about we each take a moment to, talk about, what was your initial reaction to hearing that there was going to be this, convention that was female-centric? So Carrie Ann, do you want to start?
Well, I got the text or the tweet a couple days ago, and then ironically, or whatever the right word for that is my agent. I was just talking to her today, and she was trying to negotiate with another convention company to get someone who's on Supernatural into a convention, and they ended up negotiating with her, but she found it really difficult because she was going for the same amount of money as some of the guys were getting, who were getting who had the same amount of had the same size of role as her, and she was really frustrated, and she ended up getting what she wanted, but she found it very difficult. So I feel excited, and it is interesting that there's always just like one token girl at the conventions, which is fine, but what I noticed at the conventions was the women. Of course, there was a lot of the women who were at the conventions, because all the fans are women. There was like a few dudes. All the fans were women, and they loved the guys, and that was really exciting, but there was a lot of them who were really craving the connection to me. I felt
female
like,
presence, yes.
oh, it was huge, and it was overwhelming, and it was so wonderful, and that was the best part. Like, I love making money, and I love traveling, but the best part of those conventions was coming into close contact with the fans and being able to hug and just talk about real stuff. I have friends still from those conventions, so like really close people that I'm really close to. So that was my reaction. I was like, sweet, great. Anything I can do to help make that happen, I will do.
Okay, so Jennifer, how about you?
Hi. I was really honored to be asked and to be included in this because the two times I've worked on the show, it's been some of the most fun work I've ever done. I never forgot the guys. They're so welcoming. The directors, the writers. I love watching the show. So just it's an honor to be a part of it. So it would be a chance for me to talk about it with people that love it as much as I do, and that's something that excites me. Power to the women, of course, and just
Woo!
yeah, woohoo! Being with like-minded people is why I'm interested in it. I've actually never been to a convention. I've been on quite a few sci-fi shows, but it just hasn't been something I've pursued, and I'm interested in doing it. So if this could be my first one, that would be amazing. That's how I feel. I feel like I'll do whatever I can to support it, and then come if I can. If I get asked, I'd love to be there. That's how I
You're
feel.
already invited. Don't even worry
thank
about that.
Thanks. Yeah, I just think it's a great idea.
Fantastic. And Dr. Lynn, you are a convention veteran. You and I practically every single one of them, and you're always there either as an attendee or, selling Fangasm there. So what's your take on this?
From the first time I heard about this, I was so excited. I mean, I do go to lots and lots of conventions. I love the conventions. There is nothing like the supernatural fandom. It really is a unique thing. But I think this really has the potential to be something very different. I was on the phone with Julie McNiven a week or two ago, and we got talking about this and how excited both of us were about it. And the thing that she said that really stuck with me is that she's done some of the, the conventions here and the European conventions, but there's a real hierarchy in place at those conventions. There's a lot of security, and there's a real line between the guests and the fans, and I think the guests sort of do their best to transcend it sometimes, but it's there anyway. And Julie was saying one thing she's really excited about with this convention is it would really be a chance for all of us to kind of get on the same level and talk about the show, like Jennifer just said, sort of like-minded people, like-minded women talking about the show and some of our shared struggles. Women have struggles no matter what profession they're in, whether it's acting or psychology like I'm in or anything that we do. So I think we'd have a lot in common, and I think we can have some really good dialogue that doesn't have that big, thick line between it. So I'm really excited to do this. As a psychologist, I think it's very needed, and as a feminist, I think this is just a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
That's at the conventions. They would be like, "You don't hug them when you're walking down the hall." I'm like, how can you? What are you talking about? I'm going to hug everyone I can get my hands on.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's the thing as a con goer. I think it has more to do with the fact that there's so much time. Everything has to move quickly. So it's one thing if a person is due in on the stage at this time, but then the rest of the time they're just shuttled off to wherever they hide away, and yeah, it kind of sucks. Like I definitely seen people who run into some of the actors either in person on the street in random cities, or my special guest that I'm inviting in.
Oh wait, I can't hear anyone. Okay, now I can hear everyone.
So, Jody, I didn't tell you, but
Hi,
this
Katie.
we have the darling Katie Sarife, who was on the 200th episode. Everybody, this is Katie. Katie says, this is everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Wow, this is a party.
This is Murphy. He wanted to join too.
Hi, Murphy.
Hi, Murphy.
You're such a cutie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed. A little bit.
It's okay. It's okay. We're all obsessed with something.
We had a little bit of a technical difficulty earlier, but we're glad that you joined us.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I was
to come back, we were just talking about what is most exciting about the potential for an all-ladies convention. And you have some thoughts you want to share with us, Miss Katie?
What's most exciting? I was going to say the fact that it's like female power, which doesn't happen a lot. You would think with all like the sexism and all that junk, or awareness or whatever it is. But I'm really excited. I want to do karaoke. I just want to have a karaoke party. I want to be in a onesie. I wanna be in a karaoke party with a bunch of supernatural ladies jamming out to like.
To give a little bit more backstory there, that's essentially how I approached Katie and some of the 200th girls. I was like, how do you guys feel about a karaoke party? And Katie was the first to respond. She's like, I'm for it. And then we immediately started talking about that.
I think karaoke would be spectacular, personally. But
if anybody would like to custom make a moose antlered, Jared-faced onesie for Miss Katie, feel free to contact me, and I will get her measurements at her discretion, and we can get that sorted out, and you can be the star of the karaoke onesie party.
That would be fun.
Okay, so now the visual is just
is readily available. Little moose ears, and that'd be great. I would have a blast. I love dressing up.
Well, karaoke is definitely the thing for you. I mean, it's. Have you ever been to any of the other supernatural conventions that Creation has thrown?
Yeah, I popped into the Burbank one.
Oh, okay.
Last year. Yeah, I popped in and it was fun. I was there for their karaoke thing. And,
yeah, I met you there. You were at the karaoke party, right?
Yeah.
I met you, and I was with who played Maeve?
That would be Joy.
Yes, I was with Joy.
Yeah, Joy was. Oh my God, it was so much fun. Like I was thrown on stage for the karaoke party, which I didn't know was gonna happen. But that was fun.
Was that
You pulled it off. You totally pulled it off.
Well, thanks. I was a little bit happy about the fact that, like, A, no one could hear me, and B, you know, it's just like a party more so as opposed to like, well, I'm gonna sing. Don't have anything prepared, but
That happens on Saturday night. That's called the Saturday night special, where you have to get on stage and actually like sing for reals and be serious and yeah.
yeah. No, I'm totally down. I was just like, what's going on?
Jennifer, you were about to ask a question, but we got lost in the struggle.
Oh, I was just saying, is karaoke something that happens at a lot of the supernatural conventions?
It is definitely a fan favorite, and I would dare say a talent favorite as well.
Yes.
And it is definitely something that we are planning either at the full event or possibly as well the one-day event that we're ultimately going to end up getting in May this year.
Yeah.
It's all dependent on getting the machinery and getting the tech and getting somebody who can be our DJ master of the karaoke machine. But yeah, essentially everybody signs up. They throw their name into a pot a certain number of hours prior. Who is this person?
That's Sam. Hi.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to our insanity.
Who's controlling the flippy-doos of the screen?
Whoever talks, the screen gets big so that whoever's speaking, people can watch the person who's speaking.
Okay, I've never done one of
I say speaking the loudest.
Okay, so if I shout really loud the whole time, then...
And you can try to outdo me, but what I was going to say, about karaoke is what I noticed, because I vend. For those who don't know, I'm a jewelry designer that does supernatural-inspired jewelry and amongst other things. But I do every single creation convention, and I get to suffer through the karaoke because the vendors are closed. I got nothing else to do, right? So I go to the karaoke party, and can I tell you how the energy shifts? Because usually you have Richard Spade Jr. and you've got Matt Cullen and you've got Rob Benedict, and they get the crowd going really well, and you got the fans coming up and singing. But when you have a guest come out, when you have a female guest come out, when you have Kim Rhodes come out, when you have
The
the energy is so it's out of control. People lose
Electric.
in a very good way.
Yeah.
Sam, what would you say about that?
Me?
Have you witnessed the crazy karaoke crap?
Lynn or Sam, because I think they have the experience.
I've witnessed it a lot, and I totally agree with you. We at the last karaoke 2 weekends ago, Brianna Buckmaster came out and just about tore up the entire place. People were just losing their shit. It was unbelievable. She was like a rock star. It was crazy. It was wonderful, and the audience was so into her and so excited to see a woman get up there and just totally kick ass at karaoke. So I think we could all totally do that and pull it off.
Oh yeah, that's so great.
Sam, you've been up there, right? You've been up there. Yeah.
And I have amazing reception from people, and I can't sing at all. So,
It's about the fun. They love seeing you.
I just fake it by singing really loud, and whenever I can, make it a duet.
Yeah, you just hand the microphone over.
That's a good way to go about it. Duet?
My favorite time was I got up and did a song with Kim Rhodes in Burbank.
I love her. She's so cool.
She's amazing. We did, you know that song they sing at the end of the movie Chicago? I can't remember now what it is. It's like, anyway, it's All That Jazz. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a great one.
And it's like being a famous singer. I'm like, oh, this was what it'd be like. No wonder they're all crazy, because they do this every day.
All eyes are like on you, and you're like, dear God, what is happening? But it's fun.
Adrenaline rush.
The actors, after every stage talk and after every karaoke, after every stage talk, they come off and they're like, I think I could be a comedian. And you're like, no. Or when we came off
Tell ourselves that. We have to tell ourselves we're funnier than we are to stay sane. Otherwise, we judge ourselves too much.
And I think that's a really good segue right there with a lady-related question is how much, what are some of the obstacles, all of you, that you've come across in auditions and in the industry and being involved in a predominantly male-oriented business? Like, how hard do you have to work? What have you had to pull as far as tricks up your sleeve and stops and all that to really get what you want out of your career and out of your daily life in the industry?
If I could start, once I have long blonde hair, and I have had since I started acting, and once you're finally past 25, now 30, 32, finally once you're past 32, you feel like you can actually talk to people like you're doing business, which I didn't have that. I knew I was wanting to do business, but what was coming at me was sort of still this shicky, producer-y, hey, I can, sort of, do you want to have a drink after sort of thing. And that just, after saying no for so many years and also getting tricked a couple times, and you end up in a hotel room, you're like, oh, no, this isn't what I meant, and you're trying to flee, and you do. That it dissipates and dissipates and dissipates, and that's one of the main reasons why I didn't leave Vancouver, is because I knew maybe I could stay free of that. But it is that sort of thing is an issue of getting not hit on, but sort of
not taken seriously, like a game.
I'm here to work. I'm not, and I have put a lot of work into my craft. I'm not here to just get you off so that you can chuck me a little piece of a movie.
So true. In addition to that, I was gonna say, also they expect you. It's hard being a woman because you fall into either, for the most part, one of two categories, like the funny chick or the hot chick, and then you have to, if you're not one or the other, you have to try so hard to fight to be the one. If you're not super stunning, like Angelina Jolie or what, you walk in the room, you've got to have so much confidence to back that up as to why they're going to hire you, because as much as it sucks, a lot of times the girl does kind of get the role. I mean, not always, but more so than not. which can be a struggle when you're like in the room and everyone's like sizing each other up about who's skinnier, what are you drinking, water, or I don't know. It's just such a that's I feel the biggest struggle being a woman is the competition. I feel like they look more so at your
like you're in the room and going, but we're all feminists, right? So we have these
We're
thoughts.
on each other's sides, right? This is
what,
but only a friendly competition, right?
yeah.
But some people aren't playing that game.
Some people aren't. Some people are like sizing you up. Some people, I'm like the type of person in the room that if nobody's talking, I try to break the ice unless like everyone seems really focused. But yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say after that.
Jennifer, Sam.
I feel like as the senior member of the panel.
I don't know. I might have you there.
I might have all of
them. I find, there's those girls in the waiting room that are going to try to suck your energy out because they're vampires. And you just kind of go, okay. And I try to just be friendly and mind my own business, bring a book, something, because one energy vampire in a room will sap everyone there. Mm-hmm. But, the older we get, the less it happens. I think that innately the girls in their 20s are way more, competitive. Maybe we just don't have the energy anymore. I don't know. But
we've seen
from my perspective, it has nothing to do with one of the hardest parts about being a woman in the business has nothing to do with the other women. It has to do with the fact that there are not parts for people my age. And the ones that are taken by people who were movie stars and now are like, oh, there's a lot more money in TV.
Yeah.
And I'm falling in this weird middle category personally where there's every show and every movie has 50 parts for guys and 2 for women, and one of them's some 19-year-old and one's their mother.
Mom.
There's or their bitchy ex-wife. And it's maddening because we have so many strong women in Hollywood, and even Catherine Bigelow makes a movie about fucking male soldiers. I'm like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's there. I don't bother complaining about it. I don't go out and be, stomping, banging drums, because what's the point? There, we can all do what we can do, but it's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
Girl Interrupted and stuff, which is, there's no movies like that anymore. There's occasionally something like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, stuff like that, but I want to play the gritty roles, and all the gritty roles are written for a male, and it's like, can a woman not be gritty? Look in real life. There's trashy women. There's
not if you're funny or have a personality.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right?
Ask you guys this. I noticed a trend on IMDb, and I don't know if this is a recent development or what, but a lot of female actors are not putting their age on their IMDb profiles anymore. But, pretty much any male actor you look up, they don't care. They have their age out there. And I remember I was speaking to another Supernatural actress about that, and she had, I'm not going to call her out, but she said that for women, because of the struggle they have getting roles like what you were just saying, Sam, that she deliberately does not put her age so that they just go by, okay, well, she can play a range of this age to this age instead of pigeonholing her, which men don't have that problem. They get the roles.
Well, I feel like men don't have that problem because they can be 25 or they can be 60 and have a 25-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
women, it's different. And if they look at you and be like, oh, she's 50, she looks great. She's too old, and move on to the next one, because not to be negative, but the only power that casting directors have is the power to say no. They can't get you the job. They can't do anything other than be like, no, she doesn't fit in this box, and then you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating. But it is what it is. Some really helpful person.
Feel free to jump in. I see you have some thoughts.
Well, interestingly, I had a producer friend of my husband and I's over for dinner last night, and it's a lovely guy. He's been around for a really long time, and and I never worked for him as an actor. And he, at one point, he made a joke about you're not any older than 30, right? And it was almost like the first time that I've realized that he was sort of saying, don't admit it if you are. It was really strange, and I went,
I'm gonna be.
there's an like it's almost like he doesn't want to know so that he can go to bat for me sometime. You know, he's like he wants to stay in that bubble of who, and I think it was totally tongue in cheek, but it was a microcosm of what is out there. Is like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
don't admit
That's just the right word for it.
I had a casting director flat out kind of the same thing, and I'm not, you know, like, I'm 22, but a casting director flat out, I was going in for 16, and they were looking at genuine 16, or 15, one of the two, and she asked me my age, and I was like, you know, as an actress, or an actor, you don't legally have to give your age, so you can say, you know, legal, whatever, over 18, as a younger one, and so I just said, you know, over 18, and she kept nudging, and I'd been in for her for a while, so I was cool with telling her my age, because she had already had an idea that I could play younger, and so I told her, and she was like, great, never say that again, I want you to lie. She was like, always lie, and I don't go to this extreme, but she told me to say I'm legal 18, meaning I'm younger than 18, but I can work the hours of someone
Of
who...
a full adult, whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly, and so it's like, even in cases like that, where I'm only, at that point, I wasn't even, you know, I was 19 or something, they want you... even if they know you're 3 years older, 3 years younger, they are such sticklers about, like, once they get it in their head what your age is, that is your age, that is it. Once they see you as a certain type, say your hair is long and flowing and stuff, it's hard for them to visualize you as anything else or to see you again because they think they already know you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that was just in addition to the whole hiding your age thing.
See, this is why I think that having this SPN Ladies Con is such an important thing, because the kind of conversation that we're all having right now is the kind of conversation that doesn't happen at the other conventions, and it's the same kind of conversation that Supernatural fans who are also women dealing with these similar issues. It's not the same, but this is the kind of conversation we're having all the time. So this is the kind of conversation that I think is fascinating, and it can be a real dialogue.
Yeah. When I came out to do my stage talk, I had never done a stage talk before, and Jim Michaels went out before me, and they're like, watch him, watch what he does. And he was out there, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. And he just kept giving out Supernatural trivia, and he's just a showman, and he was super adorable, and he was cute. And he comes back, and he's sweating, and he's like, go ahead. I'm like, okay. And I went out, and it was just a sea of women, and I couldn't be fake with them, and I just right away went into how I came to get the part of a zombie on Supernatural, and that I was a new mother with no sleep, and that was pretty much, I couldn't remember dialogue to save my life.
Zombie.
Oh, I just looked like I hadn't slept for more than 15 minutes in a year. I couldn't see. I didn't have peripheral vision. So that I just told them that, like, in the waiting room, I looked into the mirror and all these women were so beautiful, and I was like, if you're gonna get a part, this is it. So just do your best. And I did, and then I had just so many women. Each photo that we took, each hug that I got was just an experience about motherhood, and it's just like they wouldn't have been able to talk about that with Matt Cohen, but it was interesting. What was interesting is because I did that and opened up so much, when Matt Cohen came on to join me because he was being held up, he came on and shared this amazing story about his mother, and he was just like, I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't just opened with, like, we weren't there shicky. You want to connect with women by being honest and not just like, oh, you're super hot, or just like be staying on the surface. You can really break with women conversations.
Yeah, totally.
It was very healing for me as well. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Do we want to maybe take an audience question, if there are any?
Okay.
We're getting a lot of amazing comments, just, a lot of excitement for this upcoming convention. Kathleen made a comment about Sam being photobombed by your kitty.
my cat, my kid, my dog, my kid's friend. And actually, I don't know, I've only been here a few minutes and I arrived late, but I'm having a kid issue and I have to go.
Oh, no worries.
We're so glad that you came for the little bit.
So
that you
sorry.
did.
But thank you for having me just for a few minutes.
Bye. It was kind of nice.
Bye.
Nice to see you, Sam.
We'll
Take
do
care.
it again.
Just raise your hand. Thanks.
Oh, I miss her already.
There
It's
is.
still a party. It's still a party.
Yeah.
Going through the, I'm just going to take a quick sweep through. We don't have questions. We just have a lot of comments. People are saying they've never been to a supernatural convention. Well, you know what? This is the one to go to. This is
And
the
I promise to anybody who is new to the gang, because again, I've had a lot of people say part of the reason that they're unable to go to a lot of conventions is because they can't afford it. It's too much. It's too expensive. Just getting to the convention, if they're traveling, is a exorbitant price tag. So it's got to be something that they're really going for, like something that they really want to see. So I completely understand that. I'm going to try and keep the tickets as low as I can while still being able to pay all these lovely ladies for taking their time to come out and see us, because nothing in the world is free. But I'm also doing something that's really new and unique. I hope more conventions will do this. I would like to broadcast the convention live. That can be accessible via the internet on some sort of platform, still investigating prices and bandwidth for that, at a lower cost so that people who are as far away as Australia, Kathleen, can come and see us without actually getting on a plane and flying to us. And I actually made a perk on the Indiegogo, which is called the long distance call perk, which is basically you get exclusive ability to go to a private chat window in addition to your broadcast to ask questions of our talents, so that you can be sitting in Brazil, for instance, and watching the live stream on your computer, and maybe Carrie Ann comes up on the screen and she's answering questions. She's answering questions, and somebody from the chat says, "Oh, Carrie, I loved you in this last project that you were in. Can you tell us a little bit about that?" And one of the people who are moderating the chat room, such as Dr. Lynn or Miss Jody, can ask the question on behalf of the guest, and then Carrie has the opportunity to answer it. And they're still in Brazil watching, and they get their question asked live in front of all the people that are currently at the convention, and also everybody who's watching themselves. So experiences like that are things like I want to make this convention as accessible to other people as possible. I want everybody to be able to come. And in addition to that, to me, this is not a money-making venture. I want to provide an experience that maybe not too many people get the opportunity to have. So any of the money that we don't actually use to run the convention itself, we're giving to charity. And that's really important to me, and I know it's really important to all of the ladies who have been on the show. I see a lot of people doing represent campaigns. I see a lot of people talking about their charities. I know I've definitely asked quite a few of you. That was how I kind of pigeonholed my way in, was to say, "Hey, Katie, what's your favorite charity?" And Katie just stares blankly. Yes, that's the question.
Where ya?
My favorite charity.
Jennifer, what's your favorite charity?
Come up with one.
You know, the other night, no, I'm not done yet. My favorite charity is my children. They leave me die. No, the I Am a Girl one that's out right now. It's pretty amazing, and it was pouring rain, and the guy was standing there, and he was trying to tell me about it, and I was in the middle of making dinner, and it was just too crazy, and so I'm going to look it up online, but it looks amazing. They basically match whatever money you give per month 4 times. So if you give 25, it's 125, and they buy girls' birth certificates that don't have an identity. So it's like helping girls all around the world, and it's pretty amazing. That looked cool. I give money whenever I'm asked. I'm just like, I just love to help when I can, and
See? And that's something that we want to do. We want to
that's why I love that you said that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so all of your photo ops, like people be like, I want to take a photo with Jennifer. Well, you would get a portion of the money because you're taking your time to come and see us. Our photographer would also get some of that money because they have all the supplies and they have to print off the pictures as well. And then everything else would go to I'm a Girl. And we would put your name on it, and we would put the name of the convention on it, and we would make a post about it probably on our Twitter and on our Facebook and on our Tumblr and any of the other social platforms we have, because we want that to be our name tag. We want that to be the thing that's associated with this convention. So all about supporting women and girls, all about supporting actors and actresses and crew and directors and writers in the industry. That's what this is about for me as an event coordinator who wants this so badly to be a thing that happens.
And where is this one going to be? I didn't even ask that.
We're aiming for Seattle because that's right in the middle. Like, so New Hollywood is north and Old Hollywood is south.
Picture you.
Where are you, Jody?
I'm in Tennessee.
Oh, I'm in Philadelphia, but I'll come.
Jody, you look like my agent.
Oh,
that is a compliment if I ever heard one.
Well, she's gorgeous, so yeah.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
She actually recently dyed her hair blonde, but she had one patch of pink, so like she never had full pink, but you guys could be sisters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And Lynn is also going to potentially put on a little panel, and that's a thing that I'm excited for as well. Is like I want there to be big fan projects that come and have chats and talk about their experiences. And I know from Lynn's books and also from having the very brief chance to speak with her at SPNCon as I was panicking because I was late to my Jensen photo op. She has all these really great, amazing stories, and I think a lot of people would have a blast being able to ask her direct questions live, and being able to do a potential Rocky Horror Picture Show-esque thing with the rest of the 200th girls. I know Katie is particularly interested in that.
Yeah.
A little, just a tiny bit.
A smidge. Oh, that would be epic, putting on a Rocky Horror Show with all you ladies. That would be so fun.
Oh my God, yes. That
So
would be
the
awesome.
idea is to run it alongside the actual episode. So the girls will be on stage doing their bits and being over the top and fun with it. And maybe there's some audience participation with a script that's passed out to everybody along with their packet that says when Katie says there's nothing like you can't spell subtext without sex, and maybe the audience screams out butt sex or something like that.
And everyone can sing along too. We actually did something kind of like that. There was, believe it or not, an academic conference on Supernatural in Chicago this spring, and Robbie Thompson came to be the keynote speaker, and we had a screening of the 200th episode along with Robbie, and everybody in the audience, like 300 people, I guess 400 people, all singing along to all of the songs along with Robbie. It was truly epic. But having the girls there to do it would be so much more. I love Robbie, but would be so much more epic.
Oh God.
Katie, can you just imagine what that would be like?
Oh, I love it.
Amazing. Amazingly overwhelming.
But in a good way, right?
Yeah, spectacular.
My full background is musical theater, so I'm right there with you guys.
Oh, yes.
I'm like,
sign Jennifer up.
I did Jersey Boys, I did Joseph with Donny Osmond, I did Les Mis, I played Eponine. I'm like, that's my thing. I did Tom.
Awesome.
You just did
Yeah.
With Donny Osmond?
Yeah.
He was one of my dreamboats.
It really is. He's awesome. But yeah, like, you guys are getting me excited to sing. Yay! I
Yes.
just played Jesus.
Now.
I don't know. I just played a female Jesus in Godspell. That was,
Yes!
the best thing in my career so far. So,
Fabulous.
let's sing. Yeah.
Carrie, I think I remember seeing some pictures of you not too long ago as Miss Jeannie from I Dream of Jeannie doing some sort of benefit thing. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
No, it was Is me, right? Yeah. That was from iZombie, the TV show, and so I was playing. It was a role I played in it was supposed to be a cop bar, and she was just really happy to be there. And yeah, the director in the audition, I did it, and he was like, "Okay, let me give me something to do here. Just do it again, but like 20% less." And I was like, "Okay," and then I did it, and he just wrote me back into the show because of that little day I did on the show.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Everyone's like, you should wear that costume for Halloween this year. I'm like, I totally don't have it. You can't even ask for it.
You just hand us everything.
I know, I should just took it. But then maybe they wouldn't hire me again if I steal it.
Did we get any more questions, Jody?
Yeah, I was just going to interrupt it's a comment, no questions, just a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz. People are going nuts over this. Someone named Ginger Roll, which is interesting. Like
That is Ginger. She is my head of communications. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, Ginger. Okay, nice to meet you, sort of. You wrote, "This is such a celebration and enlightening project for the ladies of SPN, but as you all have noted, for all women throughout a variety of industries, we are stronger together."
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
General
that's
agreement there.
perfect.
Yeah. At at the convention, I was just looking out over all of the women. I was like, if we could harness this,
We could take the world.
pretty serious. Yeah. This lady is very powerful.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
sorry,
like this.
what the fans want.
We got all of these amazing ladies here. They're here for you. They want to hear your questions. I hate my mic. I'm here for questions. If you have any, by all means, please flood us with questions.
If I really think about all of my friends who are actors that do conventions, I'd say 95% of them are male.
Right.
Yeah.
I know very few women who get asked.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like,
Well, let me ask you this, too, then. Of those that do the conventions, I bet you the going rate for a photo op or an autograph for the male actors is a lot higher than what the female actors are getting.
I have never asked, but I would imagine it's probably true. Yeah, but I've never asked.
Well, the prices are different. I mean, the photo ops and the autographs at the conventions are not the same price, so
Right.
that probably reflects it.
Yeah.
It's also one of those tricky supply and demand things, which
Right.
with something like this, it's more important to me, like I said in the beginning, that it be affordable, that it be something that people can not have to worry about missing a bill because they want to spend $400 getting a photo op with somebody. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's all well and good, but it's also really limiting, and I'm hoping that everybody gets the chance to do all the things that they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, really inclusive, right? Make it totally inclusive.
I would personally, like, my personal wish list is to get all the 200 girls into one big group photo with me. That is something that I want.
That would be fun.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm there.
Yeah, me too.
We may have to put a small, like, prop limitation, I think, because I know a lot of people get super, super excited with props. Katie's got a face like, what do you mean props? Have you seen some of the images that people post? Like, I've seen people bring in the entire Crowley scroll sort of situation, and they make one of the boys hold it, and then the other one's like, you know, things like that. So props, I could see a bunch of silly hats potentially being a fun little prop, but if somebody brings in like a taxidermy bear, that might be a bit much.
Yes, shotgun.
Man, I'm not gonna hold that. I might shun you. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't shun you, but I would probably lecture you for a little.
We do have a question. If anybody, and this is from Kathleen Brown, she wants to know if anybody's got a strange / weird / funny convention story.
Yes. Share us a experience you've had as a convention goer, as a convention guest. Who wants to start? Lynn has all the stories, so she can.
Or
I have a lot of convention stories, but I feel like my convention stories aren't quite as fun. I'll share my first ridiculous convention story, which was a really long time ago before I knew any of the wonderful people from Supernatural. But I had arranged to have an interview with Danielle, now Jensen's wife, at the time Jensen's girlfriend, who most people didn't know. But nobody else at the convention knew about it, and no one knew who the hell I was at all, and I didn't know how to find her. So when I went to the photo op, speaking of photo ops, I just, what did I know? I just walked up to Jensen like a human would walk up to a human and said, hey, can you put me in touch with Danielle? We're supposed to do an interview, not knowing that it's sort of not okay to have random conversations with the talent. So these two giant security guards sort of swept in and just kind of ushered me out of the room with Jensen going, wait, but I want to tell her, wait. And literally I thought I was being kicked out of the convention and never allowed back in. It all had a happy ending. Danielle persevered and came out and found us in the audience because she's an absolute angel. But that was my first experience with, oops, totally traversed a line there.
Oh, wow.
You learn as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? As long as you don't realize you're doing anything wrong, then you're not doing anything wrong.
No, I didn't really feel bad about it. I just didn't want to be kicked out of the convention.
That's embarrassing.
Right.
I think that's a very big thing in the convention circuit is that we treat our talent like gods, but they are also people. But they're not just objects of affection. Like I've seen a lot of people get a little bit too self-entitled when it comes to some of the actors that they love so dearly, and they start to cross lines, like inappropriate touching without asking. And that, Carrie, you have an opinion. Share it, please.
Everyone's drunk, so
Usually. Not all the time.
yeah, no, the talent is drunk.
Oh, no, that's a whole other ballgame. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard those stories too.
Yeah, we're drunk, we're asleep in the green room, and then people wake us up. Yeah, the coffee thing. And you're like, oh, okay. And so that's.
I'll make sure the cots are comfortable.
No, it's nice. They treat us nice, but there is lots of booze back there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then I know that you guys, there's also a sleep factor that kind of, like, if you travel overseas, then everyone is sort of wired and tired, and things can just get hairy, and yeah, people get touchy and stuff, but that's fine. At least it's not dudes touching you. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how the ladies touching me, but yeah, I'm sure. Like, I know that Matt Cohen. I know that Matt Cohen is so handsome and so beautiful that he has people knocking on his door, like his hotel room door, at all hours of the night, and he's trying to sleep, and so that's. But I think that's few and far between.
I think it is too. I mean, if you put any group of people together, and there's going to be a few people who don't know where boundaries are. But really, in my 10 years of following this fandom and my 4 books having been written on this fandom and this show, that is such a minority of people. I mean, that's sort of the outliers that you would find in any group of people. You have a group of accountants, and you're going to find 2% of the accountants are also going to not know how to navigate boundaries.
I think the percentage is higher in the accounting world. I'm sorry, I worked in the financial industry for years, and the accountants are like, no.
Okay, it's 10% for them.
And the karaoke is the worst. You can bring drinks right on the stage. It's so fun.
We're going to be a little bit more. Booze is expensive. If I could get a really good booze sponsor, we'll see what we can do. But you might have to BYOB that stuff. Sorry.
That's not a problem.
Absolutely, I'll
Looks like that could be a problem. BYOB
I don't
is
think anyone's gonna have a problem with that.
you're just very legal now.
I'm going to have stamps. Okay, can you say the alphabet? Can you walk a line? Okay, go on stage. Go.
You're good to go.
But just back to some, Lynn, you were talking about how it's very few and far between where you have fans that cross that boundary, and I've seen, that's my experience with it as well at the conventions. However, when it happens, it's a doozy.
It's true. That's true.
You know, like for example, I forget which convention it was, but they kind of all run together after a while. Matt Cohen was trying to take some time to himself and go to the gym and go swimming in the pool. Heaven forbid. And a fan saw him and started tweeting, "Oh my God, Matt Cohen's in the gym right now." And the poor man had to cut his workout short and leave because he was getting swamped. They have no privacy, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it kind of goes along with the celebrity thing, unfortunately.
I think Matt is going to be fine. He's going to be fine. What I'm more concerned about is when the talent uses their leverage on the fans.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yes.
Oh yeah. That's been a thing. I've heard some controversial stuff there, and it's always one of those. Being really careful with victim shaming and not believing people at their word, but also trying to remember that there are people out there who will falsify this information in order to get a few minutes of fame. And what it comes down to is we need to not hypersexualize our experiences. That's a whole different topic for a whole nother day, though. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, and just really quickly, my information is coming is from the talent.
Yeah. That's the other side of it, and that exists too, for sure.
Maybe you shouldn't have, done that.
Well, it wasn't a smart idea. Don't know what you think you were doing. I remember a slightly unrelated. I just got done going to a really awesome concert. I went and saw Frank Turner and the Sleeping Souls when they were in Seattle. Really great band, by the way, if you haven't heard of them. But I was talking to one of the opening acts. I got to talking to one of their guitarists, and one of the things that he just said was, "Well, the girls always go after guitarists." And I'm like, "Yeah, you keep dreaming, pal." But that is a thing that probably goes through some young single talent mind. Like, oh, now this person thinks I'm super duper hot and I can get an in without having to work at it. But those, I should hope that is a thing that is less. What's the word I'm looking for? Prevalent? Less prevalent in the female talent, because it's not like they're not already fighting to be taken seriously.
I don't know. I certainly wouldn't take advantage of a young guy who was a fan of mine. Oh, why don't you come and sit on my lap? I would never. I just never.
$10, you can sit on Carrie and Fleming's lap. Hey, there you go.
That's for $3 more on the photo op.
That's borderline of some other line of work, You don't want to. No, but that's so weird to me that people would think. If I was just being swarmed with men upon men, I'd be like, is there a reason why? And it wouldn't satisfy me, the fact that, it's because of your status. And
it's not genuine.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not genuine at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's because they have this, perception of you as some higher being, which you're not at all.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you have 5 minutes with me, you're going to be like, oh. Never mind. They put people on such a high pedestal just because of the line of work that we do is watched by so many. But it's that goes along with the we're all humans. Homo sapiens. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
really awkwardly, by the way, if you can't tell.
I would think it would be really interesting to see just how different the energy would be if it was all female.
That's right.
I think it'll be really, really different in a really, really good way. It'll be a lot like this. All of us are ending up on the same wavelength and in agreement about, not that we're going to be in agreement about everything, but our experience is so similar that we see things the same way, and that's going to be the same with the audience. So I think it's going to be a great synergy, kind of going back and forth, a reciprocity. I'm excited. I hope this happens.
It's gonna happen. It might not happen as quickly as I like, as quickly as all of us like, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna work my ass off, And I hope all of you can help me with that in any way that you can.
I'm always here. And then speaking of help, my sister is here with her 5
whole children.
I'm gonna go with her.
Wow. I have
all of you all, and anytime you guys want to do this again, I'm totally game for it. Just text me or email me or.
It's gonna happen. Now I have it. I get your approval. It's all good.
Okay. Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you, Carrie.
Love Carrie.
Love you.
Love you.
Ah, she's cute.
She's adorable.
Yeah, 5 kids. I have 4, and I want to cry every day.
Wow. Mine are calling me for dinner too.
I just have a cat baby, personally. So it looks like Miss Jennifer is also leaving us.
I should go be with the small one.
Malls.
He's going, Mommy, what are you doing?
Are you done yet? Come on, we've been hungry for
They've been very
a whole
patient.
year.
I'm very impressed because they've been very patient. Hi, I'll be right there, honey.
Speaking of,
But thank you guys. Again, what an honor to be included in this amazing group of women, and it sounds like a much bigger group of women that are going to get together in May. So I'm there, and anything I can do, just let me know. It's awesome.
I will keep you in the loop, definitely.
Go team.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. We really appreciate you joining us and taking time away from family to chat with us about this thing.
No problem. I was so happy that I was able to make it work out. And it was my first time, so yay!
Yay!
Bucket list, done. Now I know how to work this thing. Okay, bye, Lynn.
Talk to you soon, darling. Have a good one.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
And then there were 4.
All of the brunettes and the redheads.
Keep on singing that old song, you know, like there were 4 in the bed, and the little one said, "Roll."
Yes.
No.
Roll over. Roll over.
Yeah.
They used to sing.
Just a thing.
We have Weirdo Smiling who wrote that your dog is adorable.
Oh, well, thanks. I like to think so myself. He is my child, after all.
Well, I have 4. You want one? You want
No.
one of mine? You sure? Actually, my oldest is older than you, so that would be
really?
interesting. Yeah,
You look
he's
so
20. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my oldest is going to be 28 in January.
Oh, wow.
Is he single? No.
No, he's a beautiful woman who's they just got engaged a few months ago, and that's as good as I can get out of them. We haven't set
Aw.
a date. But I'm sorry.
Any other straight
Is it a-
questions?
Start. It's a different book.
We are just seeing a lot of. Let's see here. The dog is cute.
Your dog's getting a lot of
A
love.
lot of doggy love.
Thanks for stealing the show, Murph.
Yeah.
And then Ginger Roll has a great comment here. She wrote, "Thank you all for spending time with us. Every moment of seeing you, learning more about each of you, and the impact you have on the lives of others is so great." And I wanted to say, you know, Lynn, to what your comment earlier about how, you know, the conversation here between all of us was so organic and real, and talking about real issues and real topics that happens when a group of women get together and talk. That this is the kind of conversation we want to have happening in the convention, in the Ladies of Supernatural convention. You know, I'm not knocking, you know, the other conventions that are out there, but
Not
if
by
I hear
any means.
one more, what cologne do you wear question?
I've heard that a few
It
times.
was good. I have to give him that. Jared smells amazing. So
You're right. You're right. You're right.
valid question. We would talk about it on set. There was an extra who I adore. She was coming up to me. She's like, "Have you sniffed, Jared?"
Hashtag blame the musk.
not quite.
Blame the musk.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'll have to take a whiff sometime, but which I did, and it was good.
You
No,
got
it's true. I totally agree. Actually, Jared and Jensen both smell really ridiculously good all the time. I don't know what it is,
Nisha.
but
Nisha's not too terrible either.
No, Misha smells, even when Misha says that he smells like poop, it turns out that he actually smells pretty damn good. So, yeah.
Dude, this
We
glorious
have a
bodily scent. I don't know. I haven't smelled him yet.
Oh, the toilet.
we have a question for Lynn. From Ojeda, who's a friend of mine. Hi, Ojeda. And she writes, "What would she like to change or add if she could experience as many as she?" Okay, so basically what she's saying is, having experienced as many conventions as you have, is there anything you'd like to change or add to it, to the convention experience?
Yeah, and I think the exact thing that, I mean, I love the conventions. You know, I love the conventions. I go to most of them. I have a great time at them. I think they're wonderfully run. I just think that this is offering something different that is not offered at those conventions. The closest I've come to it is I went to a couple of all-fan conventions. WinCon is one that I've been to, and they have a lot of, you know, panels that discuss the kind of things that online and in our books we talk about the show. You know, subtext and fan works and fan interpretations and the psychological meaning of an episode and Dean Winchester's, you know, feeling abandoned by his father, or, you know, whatever it is. Those kind of things, those kind of sort of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, intellectual kind of conversations don't really have a place at the conventions. It's just not the way they're set up. And I think that's what I'm so excited about for this one, is that it's going to offer a place. I mean, just the bunch of us here talking, our conversation got pretty serious. We're all different ages, we're different backgrounds, and so we had different perspectives, but we all experienced some of the same things because we're all women. And I think that's really something that I'm excited about, and that's going to be different. And hi, Ojeda.
Hi.
Let's see what else I can see here. Yeah, Kathleen is saying, you know, having been to 9 cons, that she's bored with the same questions being asked of the guests, and that she feels that the ladies con is going to be so meaningful, and she's very excited about it.
And I want to put it out there because I've definitely had a couple people ask me these sort of questions on the sidebar. Are we going to be a safe space for Quilt Bag? Are we going to be a place that is welcoming of men? I see you've got a confused face, Katie. Quilt Bag being...
I didn't hear. I missed the men thing, and then I heard it the second time around, so we're good.
So being a place that allows... like, this is not a clubhouse. This is not a place where we have a sign on the door that says no boys allowed. We're more than welcome to people of different types and different styles and different life experience. I'm hoping to include an ASL interpreter while the experience is going on. I mean, these are things that are really, again, I'm all about accessibility. I want people to feel like they can experience this convention and that they don't have to worry about people targeting them and putting them in a place. The very controversial topic of shipping, there will be a safe space to do that. It might not necessarily be on stage in front of everybody, because shipping is like the politics of fandom. If you're Republican, people are going to kill you. If you're a liberal, people are not going to take you seriously. So it's the same way with the shipping sort of situation. Like, I want to provide a place for people to identify and to be themselves and to enjoy the experience for what it is, while also being respectful and kind and understanding of other people.
And honestly, I feel like something like shipping, while it does tend to be controversial, and so it ends up being even more controversial in the live space of a convention, I feel like you put a whole bunch of thoughtful women together, shippers, non-shippers, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have friends who are the most rampant of shippers and the most no shipping, no, and we can all sit in a room and talk and have a good conversation about it without getting wanky. So yeah. I almost think that, I mean, I do think that that can happen.
It's definitely something that, because I have I have a local group that I moderate, and this was kind of a launch pad for this experience, Seattle Supernatural. Hey to all my Seattle SPN family if you're watching this. That is one of our things is that we are a shipping-like community. It is not an unwelcome topic, but it should not be the dominating factor. We have a lot of younger people, so sometimes it is one of those things that we have to be like, hey, chill. Just be chill. But generally speaking, we're able to enjoy each other's company and have a good time without it becoming some big, huge thing.
Yeah.
It's very important. I think, I don't know if it was you, Cora, or if it was you, Lynn, who had mentioned, that it's very important that at the convention there is a safe space, that a lot of people, many people that I meet while I'm at my table bending away all day, I literally have hundreds of people who say to me that they go to these conventions not only because, yes, they get to see the panels and, yes, they get to have photo ops or whatever, but they go because that's the only place that they can go to be themselves. That's the only place they can be comfortable, and it is so critical that that kind of environment is present at the Ladies Con. And I think that that's not even something that needs to be worked on. I think that's just an organic turn of events that will happen regardless, just because of the nature
It'll still need to be addressed, because if you don't address a problem, it will become a problem. One of those that needs to be repeated to, like, we're all children. We're all adults here. Even the younger people of this last couple decades, they're wising up. They're not so ignorant. Or they've probably never been ignorant, but people are being a lot more kind about it now.
Well, I do believe, though, that there needs to be a very clear anti-bullying policy, and
yes, absolutely,
anti-bullying, what is considered to be bullying in all forms. That needs to be upfront, in your face, because I've seen many people get attacked verbally, emotionally, mentally at these events, to just over something like, well, they don't like Destio, so we're going to make their lives miserable while they're here. Creating drama when there's really nothing, so those kinds of things are going to be addressed. And that's
most definitely.
And I think you're right, talking about that up front and making it really clear, this is a place of mutual respect. We're all fans of the same show. We're all there to celebrate it. This is not a place that it will tolerate attacking another fan. I think when you put that out there up front, and especially with, this is a more doable thing with fewer people. We're not going to have 3,000 people. I mean, it would be cool if we did have 3,000 people, but we probably won't. So I think it's
not for our first 2 years at least, I think.
Maybe by next year.
Fingers crossed. That would be so hella awesome. Katie, did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh no, I was ad-libbing to the conversation. I'm just like a quiet listener, observer of this.
I do have a question for you, since you're here still, and thank you for that.
Of course.
So there's one of the things that I really loved about the whole St. Alfonso's Academy of Girls and putting on the show and stuff. And this might be one of those things where I'm asking for your personal headcanon, but there was a lot of stuff that didn't make the play that we maybe didn't get a chance to see. Did you girls like ad-lib or create little silly scenes on the side, or what are some of the stuff that Sam and Dean, the girls, not the actual characters, say while they had their coverage on the side? What were they talking about to make it look more tell me a little bit about the whole play within a play situation.
Okay, so are you talking about the fandom aspect of it? So you're saying kind of what were the boys' comments on the fandom, or just
no, all about you and your experience on your episode, and playing out the play within a play feature, because it was very Midsummer Night's Dream in that regard, and I loved that.
It was cool. I mean, well, I've done musical theater my whole life, so it was most of everything that was shot was on the stage, which was awesome. On regards to, did we joke around about the whole Destio and all that? Of course, we would kind of just joke around on the side, and we'd
I remember there was one part about there's one episode where Dean becomes a woman, and there was something about robots.
Yeah, well, Marie just likes things to go a little bit. She's very wild imagination and aspect. What?
Active imagination.
Very active. Personally, so this is a tad bit out there, but she's on the most part. No, I liked her interpretation of everything. Cause
What are some headcanons? What are some headcanons that you have for the character of Marie?
headcanons? Sorry.
Yes. It's a term in the fandom. It basically means what is your imagined, like, what did you picture in her head? Like, when we talked about, like, what kind of pajamas would Marie have, and she'd be like, oh yeah, they'd have the boys all over them. Like, what are some things that you see as part of Marie's character?
The very last part you said, for example, what?
When we were talking about Marie's pajamas.
Oh.
Things like that. That would be considered a headcanon.
Okay, so kind of like what's in Marie's world that you guys don't know?
Like her
Yes.
backstory, like Marie's backstory, if you created one for her.
How did she find the supernatural books, and what did she build on, and all those things? Like, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you created for her that didn't get up on the screen.
Okay. Well, trying to come up. I'm trying to think of what was going on in my head at the time. Marie's always been.
Well, she's always been a Sam girl. I know that, and that's why I love her.
Absolutely. I think she's been writing her. This isn't the first time she's been writing plays at all. She's one of those. Like, she goes online on fan fiction sites and writes her own and then decided to make it. You know what I mean? Like, she's been doing this for a while. She's kind of a pro at it, you know? Oh. See, I've just learned headcanon. It is a headcanon. Trying to think. I think she's judged because in her school, she goes to a private school, you know? She's kind of the only... or one of the only that really knows about, or not knows about the books, but like follows it. She's kind of like, she's a little bit of an outsider, but I don't think she cares. Because she's so just involved in what she wants to do and how she views things that she doesn't, I don't even think she realizes that other people view her as a little neurotic with the whole aliens and all that stuff. In terms,
Murph's like, I want some of that juice. Give me that juice.
yeah. He's a freak about everything. I'm trying to think. The ending was cool. I'm trying to think of when Marie might have figured out that they were 17. I think she kind of always had some sort of an inkling. Give me another example of a headcanon, because I'm still kind of...
So, like, how did Marie get Maeve into the book series? Like, did she find him in the library and be like, oh my god, babe, you need to read all of these, like, tomorrow. Let's talk about this. Like, how was her experience with I'm trying to remember the name of Natalie's character. Like, how did, because they obviously had a moment where she's like, this isn't canon, Marie. I don't want to do this because it's not canon.
Yeah. Okay, well, how she got Maeve into it was, basically, Maeve is kind of a little bit of a follower of Marie, so she's going to kind of do whatever Marie wants, so I think it's totally on Marie's vision, and Maeve helps her execute it, but, as soon as Marie got into, the books, why would she not jump on making her friend read it with her? I think they would kind of, like, act out, read the books together and kind of act it out and stuff. Whereas I think at first Maeve didn't really know what she was getting herself into with this whole thing. She's just like, all right, my friend's kind of got this interest in this thing, and okay, I'll just go with it. I'm gonna go with it. And eventually she became a fan of the books as well. The Natalie question, what was it again?
The one about them arguing whether or not something is canon and working on, what's the word? It was something like transformative fiction or interpretive fiction. I can't remember the line, but they obviously had some arguments.
They had a lot of problems with it because she wanted to keep it very much to the books, where I was kind of taking it on this whole other journey that no one else could see because no one's in Marie's, no one's in my mind. So everyone's kind of like, what the heck, where'd these space robot things come from? And And she's just kind of like, well, why not? It's a supernatural element of it. You know, why not throw in everything that's supernatural? Like, you know, maybe he's a woman. Maybe he's, you know.
Just want that bracelet so bad, Murph.
You what?
He's like, I want your bracelet, Mom. Give me your bracelet.
He's killing me right now. I don't know why he's so hyper. I'm ready to stop. No, but they just got really upset because they were like, this is to the book, and Ray doesn't care. What are the, you know, it's to the book. She's like, well, I get to make it up. No, it's fun. If you get to put on something where it's your complete vision, you're not going to have someone else come in and be like, no, you can't do that. It's like, okay, well, step back because I kind of...
I'm the director, writer, producer,
exactly.
star. I can do whatever I want.
You don't tell me I cannot write.
It doesn't sound like you right now, actually. That's a direct parallel to what you're doing right now. You're doing something that nobody else is doing, and...
Or is that a question for me?
Yeah, I'm saying that's what you just said, Katie, is an exact... at least in my head, it's like a distinct parallel to what Cora's doing.
Oh,
yeah. Especially the, like, nobody should tell me that I can't do this. I mean, I think that's why the fandom related to Katie, your character, so much, because that's what fandom wants to be able. They don't want people to tell them, no, you're not allowed to make this story your own. No, you're not allowed to interpret it however you want to interpret it. So your character was like every fangirl, and that's why, I mean, Robbie knows this. He's a brilliant writer, and you executed it brilliantly, and it just came together, and everybody was like, yes, that's me.
Thank you. No, I totally understand that. No one wants, like, it's fun. It's something you love, and of course you're going to have a way that you see it or that you want things to go. Like, if you want Dean and Sam together, then so be it. There, you know, if you want Castiel, and it's kind of, that's what's cool. And the great thing about fandom, which is sucks that people are, you know, judging and offending others when that's just what they like. That is what they like. No one. And if you want to write out your own story, write out your
own what they like.
What?
No one should police anyone on the stuff that they like. They should be allowed to like it and be an unencumbered fangirl all they want, so long as it's not hurting anybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I agree. I say right on. Right
on. That's right.
Right on and right on. You know.
Right. Right on, ride on, and right on.
And other people.
That's gonna be your T-shirt campaign right there, Katie. You should get on that immediately.
Well, alrighty then. No, but that's as cool about Supernatural and everything. When I went to the first convention, oh my gosh, like it was so cool to sit with. I remember I sat in a circle with a bunch of the fans, and we just were talking, and they were asking some questions and all this stuff, and there's everyone. You just see the love of the show and of the characters and stuff, and it just kind of snapped for me how much this means to everyone. And it's so cool to see the influence that even just my episode could have on someone, like how excited they were about the portrayal of the fan fiction and everything, and that they included it. And I think that was also Supernatural's way of saying to the fans, like, keep thinking what you're thinking, keep liking what you're liking. Like, we hear it, we respect it. You have a right to your opinion, your whatever you want to do with this story. So no, yeah, it was a really cool experience to just sit down and like enter that world of fandom.
Yeah, made it a really, really important episode because I think you're exactly right. That's how fans heard it. This was sort of from the show, from the writers, from quote-unquote the powers that be saying, you know what, do your thing. We love that you do your thing. Whatever your thing is, you do it. We love that you love the show. We're grateful. We're celebrating all of you. We're not judging you. And that felt really good.
That's why I tried to play her as real, you know, as like a real person, as not like this character-y, like over the top, because that's what, you know, that's how some people are. I mean, there were moments where I had a little, you know, fun with it and stuff, but
you didn't approach her like a parody. You approached her like a person.
It's not. It's a real, you know, it's a real thing. You're not people to be made fun of. They're interesting. I mean, if I was to come across Maria on the street, I'd be like, you are a cool chick. You know, like, and Maeve and all of those guys are so cool. Just, and that's what I was trying to do, was to not, to kind of get on the same level and portray what it really is to be a fan of Supernatural. So I hope
You did.
You did.
You did it.
A+. We loved it. As a fan, I memorized all of the songs like in a day. So A+ there.
I learned them in a day. In my head. Love it.
Can I tell you, my favorite line is "Let's Streisand this bitch."
That was a great line. Oh, it was a great line. And I'm almost like, did you improvise that line? But I also know that Robbie is really fantastic when it comes to pop culture references.
I wish I could take the credit. But no, it was all him. That was good. Mine, I loved the bitch jerk, because that was, you know, like the moment where he was like, wait a minute, you know?
That twinkle in the eye.
Twinkle in the eye. It was cool. I liked that my character got to know at the end that who they were, because they were so significant to her in her, you know, in her world and stuff, that I feel like I'm glad that they touched on the fact that she realized the craziness and the insanity of this interaction and how her world became real.
Yeah.
But you kind of just answered a question that someone has in the panel, in the chat room here. Weirdo Smiling wrote, you know, realizing that Sam and Dean were really the Sam and Dean. Looking back, how did she believe the real ending of the books that Dean had told her? The scene where Dean explained what really had happened in their lives, and she totally thought it was bad writing. Was kind of laughing about it, but that kind of all gelled at the end when you had that aha moment.
Yeah. Wait, you were saying what? How did she deal with the ending?
Yeah, the question is, how did
Interpretively.
Yeah, I mean, basically she wants to know, did your character end up believing the endings that Dean was explaining to you? I mean, even though you did know that at the end, oh, that really is them, but...
Yeah, she did. I think, you know, she realized it. Doesn't matter, she's still going to keep on writing what she wants to write, but in the way that she wants to make it. But absolutely, I think it wants, you know, being such a fan of the show, I think it was a little hard for her not to realize at some point, this is them, and so it just kind of all, I think it did.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to imagine. If I were in the universe, I would look at Sam and be like, "You're not Fabio. This is weird."
At first, yeah, for a while, but then you kind of like you're too similar. You're like exactly, you know. I think once she kind of got to know them a little bit better, that she realized that they were kind of hiding something, like something's off. You're not a regular FBI agent, you know, and being so. I think at first you wouldn't, but if you spend a lot of time with them, I think eventually you'd be like, something's too crazy. And the fact that
she saw them being hunters. I mean, eventually she realized they were for real hunters. They were not FBI agents, so, you know.
No one else in the audience knew that, but they were just like, what is going on? Great special effects. But, yeah, no. She definitely...
Speaking of special effects, oh my gosh, the smoke blowing out of the person while they were being exercised on the stage, that was incredible. Whoever did that, kudos to them.
They showed some stuff, and like, oh, it was so great. I wish my musical theater was that great. You know, like the props and everything. I'm like, you guys suck.
Well, we have comments in the chat window if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
We're gonna let me see. Oh, Ginger Roll wrote, "We do love you because we watch the app so many times. They're all part of who we are, and that flows into our relationships with one another. We are family," which I agree 1,000%.
Me too.
This is, I mean, they don't call it the SPN family for nothing. Ojeda wrote, Thanks, Lynn, for always having our backs. Thanks, Katie, for being fantastic at what she does. And thank Cora for having the courage and strength to do this. And she thanks me for being there for all. I just
A plus to you, person.
A plus
That sounds like that's a good note to end on, honestly.
Thank you. I just want to say one more thing, really quick. I wanted to also say that all the girls and everyone were amazing to work with as well. And in that family sense, it was like a family in the crew as well. Like literally the first day on set, you get in and they're throwing sarcastic comments at you, and you're instantly family. And it was the best set that I probably have ever worked on, cast and crew.
Wow.
Hands down. Everything that you think about Jared and Jensen and Misha and everyone is all true if you think good things, which I would hope you do. They're all amazing people, phenomenal, true, grounded, and so it was cool to be welcomed into the whole family. Yeah.
So we clearly have to petition Robbie for an excuse to come back to St. Alphonse Academy, or at least have Marie send one of them a text to be like, "Hey, so get this."
So yeah, right. Like, so what's going on with the ghost hunt? Yeah, like, or anything. That would be a dream come true to come back on the show again. It was already a dream to be on it, and just work with everyone again would be amazing. But yeah, that was my final hoorah that I back on the end.
I have a comment for Lynn. And this is from Sarah Hold the H. Cool. She writes, Dr. Lynn, I truly enjoyed your work fandom at the Crossroads and utilized it in an essay on shaming as a form of censorship in a college-level fandom class that she's currently taking.
Oh, awesome! That's the book that's the more academic book. It's not most people have read Fangasm, not Fandom at the Crossroads. So I love hearing that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've definitely in doing a bit of my research for the convention, I've gone and I've looked at other fan-created events, and I know that the Fandom Studies meeting every year, you were a part of that, and the one that was in Chicago, a celebration of Supernatural, you being part of that, and generally the academic fandom, the ACA-fans, if you will, in
yes,
this
that's what we call ourselves.
fantastic, and I love to hear all of their, like, they're very... It's not just your common run-of-the-mill, free-range fangirl. These ones are purebred. These ones have certificates. These ones have been to a couple award shows or 2 or 3. So they have a lot of really deep, interesting thoughts that really can completely change your view on 1 or 2 things, and I just want all of them in my life every day.
Well, you've definitely got me, but still a fangirl.
Once a fangirl, always a fangirl, right?
That's right.
You've got Marie and me. But you definitely have Marie.
Do you still watch the show?
From time to time. I don't watch a lot of TV, period. Like,
You're too busy trying to be an awesome, amazing actress and doing a great job, and I can't wait to see this new project you're in.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to start working on it. But, yeah, no, I mean, it's a great show, though. My boyfriend was a huge Supernatural fan. And
he probably lost his mind.
Oh, he did. He was so pissed off. He was like, of course you got it. Like, he was like, I grew up on this. Like, you don't understand. No, but, so that was cool. He kind of, like, showed me the ropes and everything, which was nice. But, God, I'm so ADD. I forgot why I even mentioned my boyfriend's love of Supernatural. I don't know.
It's late.
Did you manage to get him in as one of the audience members for the play part?
I didn't, because they were being super secretive about everything for good reason, and like they didn't even have the Chuck on the call sheet for in case it somehow got out. Like it was so it was just a super closed set, which is completely understandable. Bummer, but he did get to come to Canada and experience that with me, and so that was really fun. But yeah.
Did we have any final questions or comments from the audience?
All right, we just have one more comment from Sarah Hold the H, and I don't know, maybe you guys can explain this one to me. She writes, I would just like to take the opportunity to have a fangirl moment over an ACA fan.
Yes.
That would be me.
That would be Miss Lynn. The fact that we brought up ACA fans as a concept. Being an academic fan, people who write 20-page essays or publish books about fandom-related works and things, like, kudos to y'all for bringing in your majors and making the ideas even better. Having a psych version, having a soc version, talking about geographical things. I know when they did one of the episodes that was close to King County, a bunch of the Seattle fans were like, "That's not King County. Nothing like this. That's so we all know it's Canada, but it's like, did you guys even try? Did you even make an attempt? This is so terrible." So people who have those special goggles on and are looking at things very, very specifically. One of my friends is real big on the car on Baby, so she can totally tell when they bought a part that was off stock, that wasn't part of the original make of the car, and she's like, "That engine is not right. That tailpipe is not right. Those lights are not right. That window isn't right." And I'm just like, dude, are you? So yeah, it's good to have those shifting perspectives. The ACA fan perspective is one of my favorites.
Most fun research I've ever done in my life.
Good to have that cleared up, because for a second there, I thought Acafam was a country, and I
I have no idea what it meant either.
I love Acafanians.
I'm not reading the comment because I'm like, is this an insult? I don't know what this is.
No.
Like, but my mind was just open to the world. Okay, got it.
Katie, that is the best comment. I'm totally going to put that out on Twitter because that was the best thing I've ever heard about an ACA fan.
Acafanians.
Acafanian. I'm calling myself that from now on.
Right. Go for it. You take it.
I got it.
You're not going to claim the royalties or anything, Katie? That'd be just one opportunity.
I'm be generous and just I'm gonna offer this one up as.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you.
You know this is recorded, right? It's binding contract. Well, what I want to do is I want to give Cora the opportunity to share the link for the Indiegogo campaign, which will help make this event come to life.
Yes.
If you can see, unfortunately, the link only shows up like with my face for some reason, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's igg.me/SPN Ladies 2016. Please go check it out. There are plenty of amazing perks, and like Cora was mentioning earlier, there's also an opportunity to attend this convention virtually. So, you know, I know there was somebody in the chat room who said they were from the Netherlands, and that's why they've never been to a con. You can go to this one, and it will cost you, like, pennies. It's nothing. Well, not, a little more than pennies. You know what I mean.
More than pennies. We gotta pay
one of
people.
their favorite hotel. How's that? But
Less than a bus ticket.
I'm sorry?
Less than a bus ticket.
Less than a bus ticket. And
I love that you guys are doing that. That's super cool. Because, like, so many people are struggling and want to go. Not every fan is rich. Not every fan has the money. And
I sure don't. I've had a lot of. Well, how are you going to pay for this? Begging, obviously.
panhandling,
Yes, selling my clothes. But perk-wise, we still have one of Lynn's books. We still have quite a few Skype chats with some of the ladies that have offered their chats to people. We have a couple for Nikki Acox. We've got a couple for Nina Winkler, who played Castiel. We got one from Vivian Moore, who played Bobby for like a half second. We've got Cindy Sampson. She's got a couple that are probably still left. We've got stuff from Jody. We've got stuff from, we have a lot of stuff. Katie's like, wait a second. What, Katie?
What is the Skype thing that I
like what we're doing right now, except not live. It's with one person.
Do it. I want to do it.
All right.
She wants to do it. You heard it here, folks.
I'm just bad at checking my Twitter, so I'm sure you like.
I'll make everything happen.
Okay.
So So with Katie's permission, she's gonna put herself up as a potential perk reward. How much do you want people to collect for you, my dear?
$1 million. I don't know.
$1 million.
Aim high.
We can discuss.
We'll work out the details
You can
later.
do that
but
off the
maybe we
live
can do
feed.
that as an exclusive. So get this donation.
Yes.
So maybe let's do $60 for a Skype call with Katie, and maybe 3 calls.
Yeah.
3 calls total at her schedule, as her schedule permits, obviously, and 30 minutes, maybe, depending on what your schedule is like.
Yeah.
So if anybody watching right now, if you want a personal call with Miss Katie, we have exactly 3. We're not going to broadcast them on the IGG page. It's just going to be if you watch us. So get this: $60, 30 minutes, 3 of them. Send me a tweet saying I want to talk to Katie, and I will find your email and I will get in touch with you and make it happen.
You have to hashtag it with "So Get This" so that we know you are.
Hashtag So Get This.
So get this. So get this.
So Get This.
That's the thing Sam always says. So get this.
And
So thank you all so much for coming. Lynn, Katie,
Thanks.
thank you guys so much for taking the time.
this has been
And
amazing.
thanks to everybody who came and watched us. We love you too.
Thank you, guys. This was fun. I'm glad I could come.
Yes, it was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed the conversation. I think that we said a lot of great things, and that the fans would like to hear about what's going on behind the scenes in getting this project together. And I hope that everybody out there watching will find a way of contributing in some way, shape, or form to help make this happen. And I can't thank you ladies enough. I mean, Cora, for doing this in the first place, for just having the brain power to do this, and you know, for Katie and for Lynn for joining us, and for all of our amazing guests.
Sam, Carrie, Jennifer. Thank you guys too.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you guys for trying to coordinate this. This is awesome. It's great.
Doing my best.
Oh,
Doing it with everybody. We're doing it together.
yes.
Woman team.
And Katie, I'm coming after you for a one-on-one interview for my show.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. As you can see, I like to talk. I stay the whole time. I don't have to my other reasoning.
Katie, I'll tweet you about doing a Fangasm interview too.
I
Okay.
would love,
Hell yeah.
I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
Okay, well, I want to say thank you again, and just one more time, the link is igg.me/@/SPNLadiesCon 2016. That will all be added into the description of the video that will be uploaded into my channel. It's probably going to take about an hour for that to happen, but thank you all again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your questions and your comments, and thanks for all of our beautiful guests.
And we'll see you next week.
We will see you next week on the 9th with more great guests. And if you ladies want to jump on in there too, you're more than welcome.
All right. Okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
You too. Bye, guys.
Bye. You guys.
Bye.
Bye.